like Miami. Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome into the Miami Heat Beat Postgame Show. I am your host, Alphonse Indy, a.k.a. Alf954. Anyway, all right. We'll get into it. The dumbest fucking play I've ever seen in Miami Heat history. I mean, and there's a lot to choose from, but this got to be it was funny. Nikias called it Denzel Valentine. If you know, you know. Anyway, if you're watching live on YouTube, we love you. Go ahead, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching live on Twitch, we love you as well. Go ahead, send your bits, subscribe to Prime, all that good stuff. I don't know how it works. Ask the Nightbot in the chat. And if you're listening to the replay, if you're listening to the podcast, the audio version, on your way to work tomorrow or overnight, we like you the most because that's where we make most of our money. And also, bless your heart for listening to a podcast about this game. Like, bless your fucking heart. Bless your hearts for rocking with us all season. Like, some of y'all in the chat, y'all come through every post-game show after every game. Like, listen, if they can say what they want about Heat fans, but we have shown up in this abysmal fucking year, unlike the team. And so let's get to the game. With me today is Miami Heat Beat co-founder Brian Goins, the master of the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. What's going on, Brian?
I'm waiting for the off season so I can actually get to my
Bro, let me tell you something. Listen, if you pull out a fucking spreadsheet tonight, it's me and you.
There's no spreadsheets for today.
It's me and you. No fucking cat machinations. I don't give a shit, okay? Kyle, the man with the ever-changing background. What's going on, Kyle?
I wish Tyler would change his decision-making. Anyway.
Oh, God. Anyway, listen, we're going to be on Kyle, but I also want to talk about there he is. I also want to talk about Davion Mitchell, who I love, who is maybe my favorite Heat player of all time, with that double step back Harden three. And I just felt like Patrick Ewing. Have you ever shot that shot? Who told you to shoot that shot? Have you ever made that shot? Because that ain't Davion's shot. And with us today, special guest for this huge, momentous, gigantic, earth-shattering regular season game, one of the most important in Miami Heat history, to determine the winner of the ever-coveted 9th seed. We brought out Brendan Tobin for this game. I'm sorry, Tobin. I'm sorry. Like, listen, the chat was begging for you last game. We had a Celtics fan on when we beat the Celtics. They're like, fuck that shit. Where's Tobin? I was like, yeah, I'm going to get my man Tobin on. I was looking for a big game for the end of the year, and this was all we had. So thank you for showing up, Tobin.
Hey, I'm always happy to do it, boys. Thanks for having me. This was awful. And it really I feel relief now that it's just done. Like, all right, cool, 10 seat, definitely gonna lose in Chicago. They need Atlanta to fall to the 9, or they got no shot of beating this team. And I just look, all this talk of Tyler Herro, most improved player of the year. I would like him to know that there's no such thing as a 5-point shot, and I don't understand what the hell that was.
Okay, so let's talk about
clip. Can we just roll the clip so we can
clip, please?
Okay. So this is the play. I'm guessing I didn't watch the game, so I'm assuming this is the play you guys are talking about. The Heat are down 5 points.
Start from the steal, because that's what killed me here.
So here we go.
No, it was a great steal, a great defensive play. Look at the timeliness of the double. Oh my God!
Oh, that's not a go.
It's 40 seconds left. You're down 5 with a free layup. And you decided to pull up for a 3. Like, Tobin, that's got to be one of the dumbest. And a game where they really wanted it. They build it as an important game. Zach Lowe says the whole thing still doesn't feel like real life. No, they built it as this important game. Tobin, they had a fucking hype video on Twitter today.
It was all very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. Like, I couldn't even like fake this on the radio show today with Leroy. I'm just like, we're like, people call it, this is for the whole enchilada. We're like, this isn't for the whole enchilada. This is like a fight over who gets the first nacho with the queso dip. Like there's no stakes
It's not
into
even
it.
the first nacho, Tobin. It's the last nacho where
It's
there's
the
no
crumbs.
toppings left.
Dude,
Like, you know,
it's like
there's like
it's
one
like-
bean on it. Like that's what the fight was over.
how about like the idea that you get the start of the report today? It's like Pelle Larsson's gonna miss the game. He got hurt in pregame lift. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Like one of the only guys who gives a rat's ass about defending, they're not gonna have him out there. But my favorite part of that play is not even the play. I just like that they go to the bench right thereafter. The camera's right on Tyler before they go to commercial, and he's just like, my bad. Yeah, you're bad. Yes.
What the fuck, Kyle?
I'm flabbergasted. I just like I literally spilt my juice watching the game as he shot. So he shoots the shot, and I'm like, why? When you have a layup? You have a layup. It's a guaranteed 2 points. Dunk the ball with the minimal athleticism you do have. How is it possible for you to flub a fast break and he takes these stupid running threes he's not even set up to take, and they go blinging off the back of the rim? I hate him so much. I hate those shots. I'm so sick of seeing him take them. Stop taking threes in transition when you are not set up to do it.
Wait. I'd rather sometimes they take a three in transition than shoot a
Not
layup
him,
because they blow
not
those
him.
shits too.
Anybody else but him. I'd rather wear.
Have you worked on that shot?
I'd rather Bam take it. I'd rather freaking anybody else. Hell, I'd rather Terry take the damn three.
Whoa, okay, chill.
Yes, no, I would.
You've gone too far.
I would.
Gone too goddamn far.
I would because he doesn't make them all the time, but when he does take them, he makes them. What ticks me off is in a late game when you need a shot, you take a three that's not, to me, that shot's not open because the pressure of making the shot still rushes you into the shot. So it's not like he takes his time and gathers. He takes the thing still moving. It's just it's oh man.
No, but you know, the funny thing, Brendan, like it was the whole sequence to end the game, right? Like you had that weird Davion Mitchell thinking he's James Harden double step back three. Then you whatever. Okay, then you come back down. Then Tyler turns the ball over and throws the ball out of bounds. Just falling on the floor. I don't know how many times he's literally just swung the ball into a defender's like midsection and just lost the ball. And then like you have this great defensive. You have a great defensive possession. He steals the ball and then makes that decision. It's like time and time again, we've watched this team blow big leads, shoot themselves in the foot. Eric Spoelstra himself has lost them multiple games this season with bonehead decisions. Like, was a home game even important in this play-in tournament?
Probably not. I mean, like, look, this just seems like one of those teams that Miami has a terrible matchup with in general. Like, we've seen kind of the same playbook about it. Almost reminds you of like Detroit, like even Detroit last year when they weren't all together and improved, like they just gave Miami fits all the time. So sometimes you have some of these things where like this team just does well against Miami, and there's just they either lull them in and they just got the right guys to mess up the matchup. But look, I don't mind guys taking. I'm not like a fossil here where like I don't mind guys taking a pull of threes. It's just you need to get to 5, and like. Like if you're down 2 and you take that, it's like all right, I can respect the stones of that.
Yeah,
I can respect a ball shot. That's a dumb shot. You don't just throw away 2 points. It's stupid because you can get the stop just like you did. It's a Bulls team that's willy-nilly, and then set yourself up. Like I didn't get that shot. It's a time and place thing. It's not the idea of the look. It's not the idea of the person taking it. It's just stupid. Take the points to put yourself in position to actually tie or to actually tie the game. And that's why it just killed me. And he knew it immediately too.
Dude, but there was 40 seconds left.
Right.
Like it's not even like there's no way it makes sense because to get to 5 is a 3 and a 2, right? Like you need 1. You know what I'm saying? Like And then with 40 seconds left, you would have been down 3 with 40 seconds left, which is a very, very manageable thing, right?
Yes.
And it just, Moose tweeted he's alive right now. Draft beats alive. Yeah, understood, Moose. Shut up. Nobody cares. We're talking about the game. But like, Kyle, there's no way. There's no way he can explain that. Like, there's no explanation that makes sense. Like, if you were down 6, maybe.
Okay, then you cut it to
maybe.
3.
Because now, even if you take the layup, now you're still down 2 possessions with 40 seconds left, which isn't daunting, right? Like, that's manageable in itself. But, like, you could have made it a 1-possession game with 40 seconds left. There's no explanation for it.
Well, I've said this before. Some of his late game decision making pisses me off. Like in my like I'm watching him and I'm like, where's the thought process on this play? Like there are a couple of games where he's like, oh, he's made a good decision here or there. I shouldn't have to do that with with Tyler, like the guy who's leading the team in scoring and is supposed to be the leader, one of the leaders on this team. And I think my biggest problem. Listen, I don't always agree with ESPN, but if they're asking what the heck are you doing, you know you bonehead. Like to me, it's simple maths. You take the 2, you play defense, you get the stop, you try to get the 3, you try to grab a rebound if you miss the first one, you try to get another one. That should be the game.
And they had gotten a few stops. They just couldn't do anything when they had the ball. And then he had just hit a really big 3. So I get if he was feeling himself, but beyond that, Tobin, like one of the things about Tyler, like I really like Tyler. I think he's had a fantastic season. But what I will say, his decision making pre All-Star break, or let's say pre Jimmy trade to post All-Star break, post Jimmy trade, it's been like we're back to bonehead Tyler shit. Like I was applauding his decision making all year, his shot selection, his passing, like just like when teams would send a trap, the decisions he would make. Like a lot of that's gone out the window. And I'm not sure if after the All-Star selection he's just taking his foot off the gas. But the scoring is back, but it's still the decision making is just not where it needs to be. Not for the guy who's handling the ball, like he probably has the highest usage on the entire team.
Yeah, it was also like ever since he got to the All-Star team, I don't know like if it was what people were throwing at him, but like, you know, like his 3-point shooting really crashed back to earth. And I mean, he was, you know, amongst the best shooters in the league before that, but it's almost like you still got to take those shots. And you could just tell I'm all for the baby float and all that stuff. We know that's his bread and butter and it's his favorite thing. It's his safety blanket. Like that's the thing he's going to go to when things aren't going well. But it's almost like, yeah, he's gone back to, all right, I got to find this because the other thing, the old me that was working this year is struggling too much. And so I got to go back to this. So yeah, it's been in the midst of being in a terrible losing streak and then kind of finding it a little bit because of the win streak. But this was just mind numbing. And it's not all on him tonight. I don't mean to, but like you guys, him and Bam, this is what it is. Like the whole point of this post Jimmy era was, are you guys capable of leading a franchise?
Right.
It's not that they're not good players. They're good players. They can be contributors in the playoffs. I don't doubt that. But we're asked about all the things that they do behind the scenes. You know, we asked about that they do great things behind the scenes, but on the court, man, like you need to be able to rise up and lead your team. And today, who looked like they did that for their team? Josh Giddey did. Nikola Vucevic still punishing us years later.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just that's just nightmare stuff. And I felt like today the only guy who really like came with the intensity and came with the stones of, hey, this is a huge. I don't even think Wiggins did that. And I get he's coming off a hammy, so I'll give him a little bit of a break. But I thought Mitchell was like the only guy today who was like, all right, we got to play at this pace. We got to make them uncomfortable. We got to play ball. Yes, terrible shot at the end, but like other than that, he played an incredible game.
I mean, which is par for the course with him, right? Like Davion is coming to play. Ray Blanc in the chat with a super chat says, "You guys, let's be real. He stayed taking those shots. So why is it a big deal now?" Ray, the reason it's a big deal is because the most impressive thing about Tyler from the first half of the year is he wasn't taking these shots. He wasn't making these bad decisions. Like, the reason it's a big deal now is because, like some people in the chat, there's a reversion, like to his old self, where he was talking about how he listened to the coaching staff and he changed his shot profile. Kyle, we're back to midi after midi after midi, like Tobin was saying. We're back to the floaters, in which you have to mix it up a little bit. Right. But what I think he went for like 0 for 12 over like a game and a half, and I think that shook him because we have not seen those high volume 3-point games from him since, and that's what this team really needs from him.
Well, I would. Here's my thing: if he was in a rhythm all night from 3, I'm not even mad at that shot because he's in a rhythm. But he really didn't hit a lot of threes tonight, and he wasn't in a rhythm enough to warrant that. And I just think also that Chicago just played faster overall. Like that's their game. They've given other teams fits with it. They just played faster, and for whatever reason, and some of this is a little bit on Spo. Several possessions where he had to burn timeouts, the zone was getting torn up tonight, like torn alive. And I was like, why don't you shift to man instead of running zone? Like, they're shooting us out of the zone and we're still running zone. And there's somebody wide open in the corner, because that's exactly what you do to shake a zone, is you rotate. And they did it so many times. That was really the game of them making wide open threes. And so between the zone and some of the, we kind of got the game back into winning distance. We went back to what wasn't working. So aside from that, we played zone again, which I think sending 2 at Giddey, which he kind of killed us all night, was smart. And then, White really wasn't as good as he has been over the last few games. They really, forced him into some tough shots.
Spo in the post game says, Tyler has a fearlessness you can't take for granted. He wants to take on anything to help you win. It's my job to also coach him in situational basketball. It was still a 2-possession game. It was set up to be a decent 2-for-1 opportunity. I mean,
this is not.
I get what accountability. I get what he's saying, and he's taking the accountability. But I'm sorry, Tyler is Tyler. You like this, and I've said this before on here. Spo doesn't shoot shots. Players do. Like, he can't make the decision for you to shoot the shot or not shoot the shot and when to do so. Like, I get him having his guys back, but like, no, fearlessness means making smart plays. Like,
fearlessness means taking a boneheaded 3 in transition when you when you have a layup. Tobin, like, we haven't really talked to you that much this year, and we've been on Spo's head. At least I've been. Like, I think this has been by far his worst coaching season. I missed that beginning of the fourth quarter. Did Bam start the fourth?
No, I don't think he got into like I think 5 minutes into it.
I mean, I thought we fucking learned this lesson. Like, if you think this game is as important as listen, your social media account did a hype video over it. Like, because I thought it looked like he came in with like the 7-something minute mark. We've seen over and over, like, for them to have a chance, like, Bam needs to start these fourth quarters for them to close out games. Like, in your opinion, what have you seen from Spo this season?
I mean, the thing that was annoying from the jump was this idea that, he wasn't playing Kalel. I think that was a very frustrating thing, because the thing that was annoying about it just from the jump of the season was you spent a summer in the Olympics with Bam Adebayo, who came out of it thrilled with the idea of getting to play with another big. And you draft a guy, and you basically had to give Kevin Love token games up until you realized he was cooked. And then it was like, all right, now we're going to go back to Haywood Highsmith. And it's like, all right, we're going to do this again. And all the while, you should have just been basically, and I know that they were going through the whole Jimmy thing, but in the meanwhile, like, you should have just been like, yeah, there's got to be some on the game development. And I know that kind of similar to the whole Michael Malone thing, where like he's, he hates playing young guys and especially young bigs. Like, you got to really earn the guy's trust. I just thought that took too long, so that was annoying. And then, yeah, there were plenty of games where he felt like it almost makes you wonder, like, was he very much behind the Terry trade? Because it just felt like he was trying to really ride the Terry Rozier train until until it just absolutely fell apart. Makes you almost wonder, like, was he behind that and had a lot of input on bringing Terry in and then giving up a first round pick for him, because that just took way too long to pull the plug on that. So those personnel decisions are the ones that stand out as, like, his just the worst ones that he made. And then, like, yeah, this has been a year that's been just frustrating, from, like, why you're leaving certain guys out at a certain time, why you're resting Bam and Tyler at the same time, especially once the Jimmy thing was all done. I get it. He said he had to go through something he'd never gone through, which is basically a very public beef with a star that he had also basically been done with because Jimmy called him out at the end. But, this guy is supposed to be the one. Like, he's supposed to be the coach who gives you the edge on things. And, I guess it's just for him. Even he can have a down year.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a lot of the decisions, like a lot of the we've harped on the rotations, we've harped on the whole Terry thing, like we've harped on the whole bringing Bam in with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I mean, we've talked about a lot of this stuff, Kyle, and I feel like we turned the corner during that 6-game winning streak, right, where it was like things were happening that made sense, right, like Bam starting fourth quarters, tightening the rotation to, like, stop playing trash players. Like, right. Plain and simple. Like, Terry would only play if you literally only had like 8 bodies available, and he would play limited, right? I think the other night Terry played like 4 minutes in the first quarter, and it was a -8, and he never played again. Or it was a second quarter, whatever. He just never played again. Like, we were starting to see some of those decisions, and I don't think there was a bunch of dumb decisions tonight. I think not bringing Bam in at the beginning of the fourth quarter, dumb decision. Okay. And especially if you really felt like this game was that important. I feel like, we talked about the other night where for some reason, we have to go into overtime with the same guys who blew the lead in the fourth quarter, right? Like, for some reason, Spo thinks you're not allowed to make any substitutions between the fourth quarter and OT. He thinks there's a technical foul called. Like, but I just feel like going into this play-in tournament, because we're going to stay at the 10th seed. Like, guys, we know this, right? And I don't know what kind of miracle would have to happen for them to get out of the 10th seed. And I don't even really think it fucking matters. They got to win 2 road games. Like, do you believe the Spo that you've watched this season is going to make the Nets? Like, it's one and done, right? It's one and done. So, like, if we see a game where they lose and Bam played 35 minutes, like, you know what I mean? Like, is Spo going to pull out all the stops that he needs to pull?
Well, to be honest with you, the kind of season that this has been, and I can already picture it. They're in this game. Spo puts together some wonderful game plan that really works. They're up like 15 to end the third, and fourth quarter comes and they blow a lead, and we are out of the playoffs. Now, granted, there are some fans who are praying the Heat miss the playoffs. Like, to be truthful, like they're waiting for the Heat to miss the playoffs, which I get it for the draft pick perspective. However, I've never prayed for my team to lose, so I don't know how that feels. But this year, there are times where you look and you're like, damn, this team could be really decent. Not great, not good, just decent enough to watch. And then you watch and you're like, I don't want to see them in the playoffs. And so there's this weird juxtaposition where you're like, man, I don't know what I'm looking at. Like, they're a different team. They're still finding, I guess, an identity. They're coming out of being what I consider they were still technically Jimmy's team. Like, this team is still built, in my opinion, around the Jimmy thing. And Jimmy's not here. There's not a guy who plays like Jimmy here. And I'm not knocking Wiggs. I mean, he's coming off injury. But that's a very different game plan as far as his play style.
Knock Wiggs. Like, why can't we knock Wiggs? Knock
him. I mean, he's a completely different player. Like, you're not getting Jimmy Butler from Andrew.
No, but for even who he's supposed to be. Like, honestly, he's actually been pretty good for us, Tobin. Like, he has. Like,
plays.
but
It's-
like people who thought he was going to be a reasonable facsimile of Jimmy because they read box score numbers. Like, I feel like they were in for a rude fucking awakening because this is who Wiggins is.
Well, I mean, first, yeah, the biggest thing with him is that, and the ironic thing is that, Jimmy gets traded and Jimmy plays all the games for the Warriors and Wiggins basically misses half of the games for the Heat. So that is already probably the biggest surprise out of all of it, is the guy who's a pretty durable player outside of personal things that he's missed for. He doesn't get hurt. And so he's been dealing with these injuries, and that is a weird thing to deal with when you're trying to get yourself used to new teammates. I think he's been okay. Like but I don't, I remember the talk, like Draymond Green was gassing him up when he got here. He goes, yeah, I think he could be an all-star again with the Miami Heat. And you definitely can see in flashes of games, he's such a strange player where like this guy looks like the greatest thing that's ever graced a court. Like he'll take over a quarter, he'll score 17, but then you'll never hear from him again.
No.
Those games that he's truly taken over are few and far between. And then just, I guess the thing, and this is where, again, I kind of want to give him a pass for today, is just because you're coming off of a hammy. I don't know what he's playing through. His defensive impact, that really hasn't jumped off the page to me. And I was, we were talking like, hey, this is one of the better two-way guys you can get. You can shut down the likes of Tatum. We just haven't, I don't think we've gotten that version of him. I think he's probably been a little bit too banged up on the lower body. But yeah, you see that he's a talented player. But also the knock on him has always been like, you'll see that and then he'll glide out, and he's not going to be that all the time. And so
sometimes just doesn't seem engaged. And you're like, bro, like what?
He's got bad resting bench face.
Oh,
bad resting bench face. It's really bad. Like you'll even see him like just during timeouts, like I'll like look at the bench and it's almost noticeable how bored he looks. I don't know that he is bored, but he looks bored.
Yeah, he kind of just looks like he spaces out. Like he's just happy to be here. He's just a sweetheart. I think he's just a nice guy. He's just happy to be in the NBA. Like, let's go. Like,
he's got a good life because he's
Canadian, so
he's gonna probably make in the minimum the rest of his NBA. Like, let's say he's got 6 more years in the NBA career, he'll never make less than $18 million. Like people are always like, oh yeah, Andrew, because he's one of those guys like who's gonna hate having him on his team? Like probably nobody. But
there's a few Heat fans that are hating him right now
because we're all just miserable at everything right now. Yeah, but it's one of those things where I guess the thing is this with Andrew Wiggins. You thought getting him, you're like, there's no way this isn't going to be positive for the Heat. They're getting nothing from Jimmy Butler. And somehow it's almost felt like you've had less than not having Jimmy Butler because Andrew Wiggins has been in and out, and you've actually gotten more from Davion Mitchell and Kyle Anderson, strangely.
Well, Davion Mitchell was a fucking find of the trade, right? Like, and I was here's the thing, is I like Kyle Anderson, right? I do, okay? Like, Kyle, we've gone over this before. I enjoy Kyle Anderson, but this team needs too much Kyle Anderson to be a good team. Like you can't rely, on Kyle Anderson this much. They had a Kyle Anderson pass package on the broadcast tonight, and I'm like, I don't think any other team has ever been down so bad that they had a Kyle Anderson pass package, like that they needed to highlight all of his great passing, like. It's too much Kyle Anderson, and the reason too much Kyle Anderson because he's one of the few ball handler, playmakers on the whole team.
Well, and this is not to. This just goes to show. So with the starting lineup, there really isn't a point guard of sorts, and so with Davion is finishing games, but like it's you don't really you have like weird options, and I think some of this also has to do. I stated it tonight. On Twitter, I was just like, this team misses Niko a lot.
Big time.
Much more than I think people are willing to give him credit for. And even if you did play Kyle, you could play Kyle and Niko just for size purposes. If you're going to ball handle and you want to rest guys. But they don't have that option. So you end up having, and to your point, you're having to have him run sets for you, which, I mean, his nickname is Slow-Mo. He does not get to his spots very fast. Now, granted, he makes very interesting decisions with the ball. I do think he makes timely plays and he gets where he wants to go, even though it's not fast. And fast doesn't have to mean quick. It just means getting there in an impactful and efficient manner. But I just don't think he's your main. You don't want him as your primary ball handling option on a team that's supposed to be going to the playoffs. Like that,
No, it's too much.
That's a good skill to have as a like break glass. Hey, I don't have another ball handler. I had an injury or something like that. Hey, we can run Kyle and he can run sets. But the fact that he's, I think, and Spo's having him call plays. Like I'm just concerned about what this team is going to look like if that's how. Like you can't, to be honest, and just looking at it tonight, you can't go into the playoffs with Kyle Anderson being your decision maker as a ball.
No, it's almost. I don't want to call him a looter and a riot, Tobin, but it's just like if Kyle Anderson is a featured player on your team is not very good.
It's just, yeah, dude. It's just Spo's got a savvy vet fetish. Like he can't help himself. Like it's not that having him out there, like you said, in spurts is not a good thing, but you can just tell immediately, like in the game, it'll hit where it's like just a little too much slow-mo.
Okay, yeah.
And he'll just ride it a little. He'll just ride that horse a little too much. But
we get it, bro. We get it.
Yeah, he's just like, this is great. He knows the plays. Oh, he look at that pass, and he is like he'll come up, and it's like great. That was a great 4-minute slow-mo, and that's all I need. But Spo will try and stretch it out to 8. He's like, I'm gonna like you said. He'll get Bam extra rest here, and then slow-mo will be out there, and all of a sudden the lead starts leaking away, and you're leaking oil, and that's it. But Spo's just so excited to have. He's like, oh, no Kyle here. I have somebody who knows something. No Iguodala here. No Kevin Love.
It's
somebody who knows what to do. Yeah, it's the Kelly Olynyk,
the PJ Tucker. Even though PJ was, I think, a little bit better. But PJ still had his runs where you're like, take him out the fucking game.
He's old.
Give
him a rest.
Yeah, but that's what and that's another thing. Like Alec Burks. Alec Burks is fun in spurts. But now we're relying on Alec Burks.
Wait, that rhymed. I kind of like that.
Alec Burks is fun in spurts. Yes. Listen, I used to rap. What can I say?
Also, we got broken back Duncan Robinson tonight too. Like that was very like his shot. It looked like he was shooting a shot put like bowling ball. Like I was like, what the hell is going on there?
Well, I like that he blew his wad against the Sixers the other night. Like he was like, I gave you guys what I had. We had to beat the Sixers. I got nothing left for you. Ray in the chat, super chat says, so serious question for right now. Who's a better player, Slow-Mo or Niko? I'm not talking about the future, but as of now, who's a better player? Niko.
Like,
it's not even close, in my opinion.
And he makes them play faster, in my opinion. Like some of the things
Niko plays defense.
Some of the things we get from Davion, Niko does off the rebound. Like he grabs a rebound and he's off. Now, do I always see the rest of the Heat team run with Niko? No, because apparently running fast breaks is something that the Heat are allergic to. But he gets off the board and he takes it and tries to get them some points in transition. Kyle Anderson can barely run. So, like, truthfully, I'm taking Niko for sure.
I just love a team that has a problem with pace, like has a guy named Slow-Mo bringing up the ball. and the fact that the Heat got slower after Jimmy Butler left is fucking hilarious to me as well, because we all blame Jimmy for the slow pace. They somehow got slower without Jimmy. Okay, so moving on from tonight, like, listen,
we got to read this real quick. Shout out to Ray Blanc again in the super chat. He responded back to your, I guess, his question regarding.
You guys
Niko,
are crazy.
Listen,
if the argument is Slow-Mo or Niko, like this is where we are, right? This is where we are. We're arguing about Slow-Mo or Niko. We're doing hype videos for the ninth seed. I'm bringing
the question should be Jaime or Kyle Anderson. Obviously, Kyle Anderson's getting the minutes over Jaime, right?
Yeah,
that's true. Because Jaime's been a disaster.
They talk about the sophomore wall, and I think he ran straight into it. Like he didn't put a ladder up. He didn't
No.
he just ran straight into the sophomore wall and slumped.
No,
And
somebody took the fucking wall and beat him over the fucking head with it.
Like,
He didn't even get a chance to run into that motherfucker. Someone swung it at him. Like,
Nah,
struggle for him.
he's one of those guys where like you never like know about people's work ethic and what they did. I imagine that he's a guy who works hard. I don't know, but it does feel like he came into this season. He didn't get better at anything. Like he got worse, if anything. He looks
It looks like he got
and you
better
want
for summer league though. He played those couple games.
maybe, but like he had that
Summer
first
looked
that
better.
the first week he got sick after the Mexico City game and like
oh, it's
boom,
been a
it was-
wrap since then.
Dude,
He
it's
was
been-
5 for 5 from 3 before that Mexico City game.
It was dunzo. And the thing is too, like I felt like last year, like Spo threw him in the deep end defensively. This dude, he'd throw him on Durant, he'd throw him on Tatum, just to like say, hey, what's you gonna dude? He has been scrambling all over the place. He looks lost. And I mean, obviously, it doesn't help that he can't shoot a lick.
And the spin move into the turnover.
Oh,
As
man.
Carlo Tiana in the chat said, he spun into the wall. Like the thing is, Tobin, I think they just scouted him. Like people know what he's going to do. First of all, they know if he gets the ball, he's not passing it, right? Like if he gets the ball in the paint, no matter if he draws 5, if he draws 6, right? If the mascot's on his ass, he ain't passing it. So they know what to do. Like they know he's going to do the spin move.
I understand that. I understand that, but the one thing I'd say off is that, like, I thought last year there was a relentlessness to Jaime that's like, you know, that Pella's brought a lot of. Like, he'd be just cutting his ass to the rim, like, real hard. Second chance points on, like, putbacks. Dude, he'd be like you watch these games with Jaime, and I don't know if, like, he's dealing with something, but, like, he'll just stare there. And, like, the guy couldn't find an offensive rebound if it bit him in the ass. It's like, hey, do you got anything to bring to the table? Go grab a rebound and go like Niko does. He doesn't do any of that this year.
Ethan pointed out that when he's out there now, and this is just lately because he was getting featured earlier and he was terrible. And like lately now he's standing in the corner. And it's like, what does that do? Because nobody's guarding him in the corner because no one's afraid of him in the corner.
He's not
Like,
cutting.
go ahead, Jaime, shoot a fucking corner 3. Nobody's worried. Nobody cares. Like,
He
so
he just made things happen last year, and I don't know. It almost like you see him in these games, and yeah, maybe it is a self-defeating thing where he's sulking or whatever. But it's been very depressing watching him play basketball this year.
and we had a whole, and I think a lot of the first half of the year we had a lot of Terry Jaime minutes, which it was so funny. If you looked at every player with Terry and without Terry, like he just completely dragged every other player down. And I don't know what that effect had on him. I just don't. I'm hoping he comes back next year a better player because right now, and it's going to sound crazy, he's not an NBA level player right now. Like he's just not Jaime, and that's one of the most, in a disappointing year. It might be the most disappointing thing, where we thought we had a guy who could be either like a high level 6-man or even a starting rotation player, to the point where I don't even know if he's an NBA guy anymore.
Especially with the idea that like he came in with the mantra of he models his game after Jimmy, and the thing with Jimmy is like, dude, Jimmy basically will play the ugliest style of basketball known to man, but he's probably the best at the league at it. He will just with will get you 17 points. And Jaime, it's almost like he just kind of accepts the game in his fate. Oh, they figured out my spin move. Well, what else do I do? Dude, last year you were getting after it. Even in that playoff series before he hurt the groin.
Yeah.
I thought the guy was bringing it to Porzingis, was bringing it to or Cornette. He was trying. I can't remember which intangible was out there against us, but he was like I thought that he was showing a fearlessness about him, and so I don't know. I don't know what went on this year where that all evaporated. I'm sure that there's a confidence level to it too because he could feel the coach's faith in him slipping away. But there's a lot of soul searching he has to do.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of soul searching with a lot of guys on this team, which is why last thing I really want to get into is what do we think is going to happen in these playing games? Playing game. Because they're going up against a Chicago team that completely has their number.
Is there any shot they get Atlanta? Is that possible? Is Atlanta?
I think it's still possible.
This is the standings right now. So Atlanta's a game and a half away from Miami, and then they're also half a game behind, half a game ahead of.
So I think we'd have to look at listen, if they get Atlanta, they got a real good shot because Atlanta's arena is basically a Miami home game. But at the same time, I don't even think the fucking home court matters for this team. I really think the most important thing is how does Spo approach the game? Does he approach it like this is a one and done? Like Bam and Tyler need to play entire second half. Like we need to shorten the rotation. If Duncan's looking like trash, no more Duncan. If Burks is looking like trash, no more Burks. Kyle Anderson, 3-minute stints, and that's it. Like, are we playing like we want to win the game? Or are we running out here with the same bullshit?
That's a good question. That I think you try. I mean, you don't want to go out trying to lose. But just the way that they've been this season, and Atlanta's beaten us before.
I was at the game in Atlanta. It was one of the most depressing games of the entire season. Now there were several more after that, but up to that point, it was the most depressing game of the season. It was like 86-82.
But I think you go out there and you see what you just try. And I don't. To be honest with you, I don't want to see a playoff rotation in a play-in game because I think sometimes during this season, Spo has shortened the bench when he should have extended it a little bit more to play guys. And
there's no extending, Kyle. Extend to who? Who the fuck you going to extend to?
I mean, there were games where Highsmith didn't play. You had guys just
No. I'm talking. Okay, so at this point, Highsmith is firmly in the rotation, right? And Davion's firmly in the rotation, and then I think the guys you have to just play it by ear are Kyle, Pella, Duncan, because I love Duncan to death, but he's been real inconsistent, and the back thing is obviously an issue. I just Tobin to me it's just how do we approach this, or is it like a lot of Heat fans want to do, just fucking lose this game and let's get on with it, right?
I'm sure there are plenty who just want to be out of their misery. I'm a little scared about just having the thing that just scares me about it. It's not that it's not gonna be great to have 2 first round picks, but I am a little terrified of having just 2 unprotecteds out there, just simply because let's just say the Heat if the Heat are gonna make a move, you look at the options that are out there, whether it's a Zion or a Kevin Durant or whoever they're gonna put those chips in for, man, any of those things. Yeah, at that peak of it, they could go good, but they're also very high-risk guys, which would leave you out to dry to give your pick to maybe be all right, unprotected to OKC next year. So I think that's really the only prize of it. It's not a matter of just hey, if you're giving Adam Simon 2 picks, that's probably a positive thing because he's probably the best thing going in the organization right now. But it's kind of also an embarrassing thing. Even if you're squeaking in, and I guess it's a new challenge. I'd like to see what Kel'el Ware could do 5 games against Mobley and Jared Allen and see what that is. They'll probably get their faces kicked in gentleman sweep style, but I'd like to at least get that out there. Those are really the only positive things. The scary thing about it is just having just no safety net of your picks, having no protections on them anymore. As far as the rotation is concerned, nobody wants to hear it. I do think you missed Pella Larson tonight. I mean, he's, between him and Davion Mitchell, the only guys that you really feel like can stand in front of anybody. I mean, I saw Kevin Herter just beat Tyler like a drum all over the place today. And I
saw had to rotate to help on a Kevin Herter drive. I'm like, well, then what are we doing here?
So I think that'll help. And so then I guess the probably the pick is who's he going to go with between Duncan or Burks, whoever he thinks is shooting better that night, I guess.
Yeah. And so I guess in the private chat, Brian Goins is trying to get me to do this thing since we're talking about what's going to happen if they miss the playoffs. Tobin, I'm with you. I don't like this whole unprotected pick thing. I also don't like ever losing on purpose, right? I just think you ride it out, you try your best to win. But I do think we're destined for the lottery. I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're sunk if they play Chicago. I mean,
If they
how
play
many, times,
Chicago, it's a wrap.
how many times are we going to watch it?
But here's the thing: they're going to have to play Chicago no matter what. Well, I guess unless Chicago goes to the 8th seed, then they could beat the Orlando Magic, and then they're in. And then, honestly, the Heat beating Orlando and Atlanta is not out of the realm of possibility.
But I think Orlando. The one thing that sucks for the Atlanta scenarios, I think Orlando's locked already, so they don't have anything to play for that last game of the season. Where you're like, because I think it's, I'll say Atlanta has, I think it's Sixers, Brooklyn, and Orlando left.
Yeah.
So it's not great to have them lose out or fall behind Chicago.
I think I think we're all pretty much resigned to the fact that we're going to be playing Chicago in Chicago next Wednesday.
Yep.
And that just doesn't bode well for us. So most likely, yes, we're looking at a lottery pick for the Heat, which is everyone's so excited about watching the fucking draft to go see some 19-year-olds not going to be good for 5 years. But anyway, because of that, we have our special stupid segment that everyone likes to do. That I hate, but we're gonna let Tobin count this one down.
Ooh.
Oh, how many do we do? 3?
Yeah, we do.
3.
Oh, whatever. Stupid. Go ahead. Roll the fucking.
It's time to tank.
I like that.
All right.
All right, Tobin, you get to count down.
All right. So it's 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1. Spin that thing.
Yeah.
So exciting. Number 11.
11.
2 more times. 2 more times.
All right, go ahead, Kyle.
3, 2, 1.
So close.
Damn,
Yeah, seems like we're locked at 11.
My turn. My turn.
Yeah, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
feel like every time I do this, I always get top 3. 3.
I think you said that last time, and it just ended up the same spot.
Ah.
We're locked at 11.
So fucking riveting. Thank you for making me go to this segment,
This
Goins.
is the Golden State pick. We're at 21 right now.
That's not bad. I mean, 2 picks is not bad. And Tobin's point, giving Adam Simons the ability to pick 2 guys, I'll take it.
You want me to do one, Brian?
Yeah, we can do one more. Yeah, why not?
All right.
4 times a charm, right?
3. Yeah, that's what they say. 3, 2, 1.
Ah.
Yeah. See,
Dang, Philadelphia gets a first
the
pick.
draft. Listen,
Damn it.
Heat are
That's
about
a
to
nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Heat are about to win 2 straight on the road. Fuck Chicago. Fuck Orlando or Atlanta, whoever they fucking have to play. 2 straight on the road. We're fucking doing it. We're back, baby. Just to get our fucking face kicked in by Jared Allen.
Strus and his stupid hair, his long, stupid hair.
Oh,
Strus is
sweet,
loose.
sweet Strus. I miss him.